I received a lot of great feedback on my previous video, so I'm going a little deeper into the world of crypto. Today, I'll tell you about Nazi Enigma machines, the NSA, and how the internet would look a lot different without public key encryption. So let's go back to a time before public key encryption to really appreciate its impact. Until the 1970s, whenever secrets needed to be shared between two users, they needed the same key. This meant that both people needed to first agree upon a shared key. In warfare, this required people to carry around a cipher, which if lost meant the enemy might be able to intercept and read your communications. Remember the movie U-571 and the Nazi Enigma machine they were trying to capture? That was the shared key for all Nazi communication in the Atlantic Fleet. And whether in computer form or an Enigma machine, this form of encryption, symmetric encryption, is inherently flawed. If we'd never developed better encryption than this, the modern internet would not be possible. In 1977, researchers at Stanford came up with an early form of public-private key encryption. But it turned out the NSA had already previously come up with it and was trying to keep it secret. The NSA was so threatened by the technology being disclosed, they tried to argue that publishing it was a violation of arms control restrictions and paramount to treason. The director of the NSA at the time, Admiral Inman, was so concerned by the Stanford researchers' work, he went to Stanford himself to meet them and discuss it. He went there wanting to stop them from publishing it, but left with a new understanding of the problems they were trying to solve, and that securing the growing number of commercial computer systems was important. As a former Navy intelligence officer like Admiral Inman and a tech enthusiast, I can sympathize with both points. And later in life, Admiral Inman admitted to the need for this technology in commercial communication and the incredible value it made possible. As it turns out, mathematicians at MIT were already coming up with similar discoveries around this time. The NSA came to the conclusion it would be too difficult to fight the technology being released, and instead created a review process so they would be alerted to recent developments before they were published. Although that program eventually fell apart, the NSA was right about how powerful this technology would become. Unlike symmetric cryptography, public key cryptography eliminates the need for constantly exchanging keys. Anyone can use a public key to encrypt a message, but the private key can only read it. Like with email, anyone can send you an email, but only you can open it and read it. After people realized the incredible power of this technology, a group called the Cypher Punks emerged. Think of Angelina Jolie in the early hacking movie Hackers. The Cypher Punks movement of the 1980s pushed for greater encryption and better security and standards. Some large organizations listened, but the Cypher Punks message didn't resonate with most of the country. For most people, there was not enough concern about security for any meaningful change to take place. In the decades that followed, security would become more and more important. But it was actually a different innovation in the world of finance that ushered in a new application for public key encryption. Next week, I'll discuss how Bitcoin and Ethereum use public key encryption and what it means for the future of the internet. Thanks.